Somali woman beaten for dancing without hijab on TikTok. In a disconcerting incident, a Somali woman faced a violent backlash from her own brother for dancing without a hijab on TikTok. The woman, known as at Hafsa Queen Djibouti, has a considerable following of 150,000 on the platform. After uploading a video of herself dancing in a sleeveless black dress without a hijab, the clip quickly gained over 1 million views. However, the subsequent video she uploaded revealed her badly beaten and bruised face, hinting at the violent response she received for not adhering to the hijab rule. In the face of such shocking domestic violence, the internet's reaction was divisive, with some even praising her brother for protecting her honor. One Twitter user stated, quote, "May Allah reward him for protecting his sister's honor." Regrettably, mainstream media and many progressive activists have been reticent about highlighting this issue, potentially due to the fears of appearing so-called Islamophobic. This silence exemplifies the persistent struggles around the debate on Islam in the West and raises questions about the commitment to defend human rights universally. So I don't really want to show any imagery from this news story because the way her injuries after she was beaten, because she posted several videos of herself afterwards. So apparently, like, this woman, she comes from a Somali family. I'm not 100% certain where she's actually living. And she normally posts, I guess, most videos of her wearing the hijab. And then she posted one video of her in this like black dress that didn't have sleeves on it, and she was wearing hijab and she was just dancing. And the next videos that she posted were of her face looking like an alien. Like, she's so badly beaten and swollen, she was unrecognizable. And she's wearing the hijab again, and in one of them, she's just, like, looking at the camera and just, like, crying, like, as it's just, you know, just it's so bad, and what's really horrific is that there were tons of people mocking her. It became a trend on the platform that people would take the video of her crying and, like, mock it and make parodies out of it and joke about it. There was a poll that someone put up on Twitter asking if don't Armin, don't do it. Um, asking it if her brother should have killed her, and the majority of people who answered that poll said yes.
Okay,
Um,
we don't say that, YouTube.
yeah,
We're just describing the news, YouTube, just in case we get a strike and you want to be able to refer to this moment. Yeah,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
and it's just really, like, horrific. It's really, really bad. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I saw the images of her face afterwards, but I couldn't bring myself to watch it because it just makes my stomach, it was so hard. And I mean, and I've had to look through reports of, like, ISIS beheadings and stuff to prepare for this show, and this I was like, "I can't." Um, and to see people mock it, to see people openly encourage it, to see people openly praise her brother, tell tell him that he should have done more, AKA straight up take her out. And people even saying, "How old is she? She looks like she's between the ages of like 16 to 26. Soon she's going to be too old for marriage anyway, and you're going to have to only give her to her clan elder," all this stuff. Like, just so many levels of violence, control, dehumanizing, devaluing. Like, I like barely even know how to begin. Um, But Armin, what's your reaction to this? I mean, obviously it's horrific.
I mean, this is an example of how religion rots the mind. It's just, I don't think the human mind by itself can tend to be this ugly. doesn't get like this just on itself. It doesn't.
No.
It's not naturally like this. I mean, if you compare the videos before and after, you see the joy, the happiness, the celebration, and then the ugliness of the video after the beating. And I mean, I think like inherently we can decide which one is beautiful and which one is ugly. But all of these people who are reacting, who choose, like, they saw a woman happy dancing and they thought that is ugly, and they saw the beating, the face swelling, the person crying, they celebrate that video. They're against the dancing and the happiness and joy, but the beating, beating video, that is the one that makes them happy. That's the one that they're celebrating. Like, how is a religion, how is an ideology so backward? They could make the most beautiful thing seem so ugly, and the most ugliest thing seem so beautiful. I mean, how else can you display how disgusting and how evil you are to take such a strong position against joy, against dancing, against beauty, against singing, against enjoying life? Like, you're screaming to the world that we are anti-life, we are pro-death, we are pro-misery, we are anti-joy. That there's no better way of affecting, of displaying, of effectively showing to us, of demonstrating to everybody what your religion stands for. I mean, this is not, for people who say these are some people, this is not the religion. Some people don't get like this. Humans don't get like this without a disgusting ideology. It is not the people, it is the religion. What turns people like this? What excuse people have to be like this without such a religion? It is the religion. It's not the people, it is the religion. What else could it be? We are not meant to be like this as human beings. I don't know what else to say.
Man, it's just like, and it's so sad to say that she genuinely is lucky to be alive. She genuinely is lucky to be alive, because there are so many women that are murdered for this and much less. Yeah, Armin is looking at the photos in the backstage. It's horrific. It's so bad. Oh, we can hear that.
Wow. I know this is, I played it so that they could hear her crying, at least for you guys, but people are playing happy songs on top of it.
That's what we're saying. Like, people are mocking it and taking the video and just making a mockery out of it. Like, there's so many people celebrating this, promoting this. I don't know how you see her injuries and
these people are disgusting.
Promote this.
Her face is completely changed.
She's unrecognizable.
How could you do that to your own sister? Jesus Christ.
Because of honor. Because of dogma and indoctrination surrounding beliefs about honor. Because you think if your sister was doing this publicly, it makes you less of a man in the eyes of your community. And the only way to solve that is to terrorize her and put her in her place in the most violent form possible so she learns her lesson. And there are people openly saying, and the majority of people in the polls voting, that he should have just killed her entirely for not being covered. That's what this is over. That's what this is about. For not being covered. For not having hijab. And so, Armin, I was reading an article about this, and it was basically highlighting feminists' complete disregard for this story, because this video and the fallout from this video had millions and millions of views. And this article was basically calling out Western feminists for not touching this, because no Western feminist has commented on this. And they're
Wow.
talking about their failures and their hypocrisy. So what do you think about that?
I think it's well deserved. I mean, here's the thing. If you find one feminist who hasn't spoken about this, I don't think that is fair, okay? Because you don't know what's going on with her. You don't know her capacity. You don't know her focus, okay? So if you find individual feminists and say like, okay, why is she not talking? You don't know why she's not talking about it, right? But if you look at the entirety and you see a lack of
It's silence.
silence, and they're like, okay, I can understand why this specific person is not talking about it. I can understand why that specific person
But
maybe
no
not
one,
talking about it.
no one.
But or even if there's few, why so few? Like I don't understand why there's such a low reaction. You cannot. I can't judge individual feminists, but I can judge the entirety of the movement, at least the Western version of it,
Hmm.
which is disgusting.
It is.
This is
It's
disgusting.
vile.
You have failed. You have failed your sisters. You have failed women. You do not stand for what you claim you stand for. You are just virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Well, that's explicitly why I wanted to talk about this story. That's explicitly why I
thank
want
you.
to talk about this story.
Thank you for making sure that we see this, Susie, and
Yeah.
the rest of the team.
Yeah. Eric Olson is saying that Somalian woman wasn't the only woman who got badly beaten last week. 2 Iraqi girls were also brutalized and killed the same week, I believe. Here's the thing. I did hear a story about a 9-year-old girl who was honor killed by her father for doing a TikTok video in Iraq. I was thinking about covering that story, but I couldn't find a lot of sources around it. So I'm not positive about how credible it is. But that's also likely something that happened. Killing your 9-year-old daughter over posting a video like dancing online.
Mm.
It's insane. And Dee had a point that I think summarizes it very well, saying women's lives are worthless according to many of the commenters. Very disturbing.